Hello everybody and welcome to English Speaking 360. Today we are dealing with relaying speech. It is an advanced English grammar point and we are going to show you how to use he told me to tell you and he asked me to ask you. Now, how to relay speech. Here's a situation. Imagine that Sam says, "Hey, where are you going?" And you say, "I'm going to see Sarah." Now, Sam has a message for Sarah. Unfortunately, they are not in contact. So, you are the messenger for Sam. Sam will give you the message and you will give the message to Sarah. Now, the real message is, "Tell Sarah to call me." Now, what are you going to tell Sarah? Call Sam. It's good, but it's not quite right because Sarah is going to think that you are the one giving her the order to call Sam. But it is not true. Sam is giving her the order to call him. So instead of call Sam, you should say, "Sam told me to tell you to call him." Told me to tell you is the first expression that we are going to study together today. Now, could you ask Sarah to call me? Slightly different, right? What are you going to say? You should say, "Sam asked me to ask you to call him." This is the second expression that we will study together today. Now, let's practice this. But just before we practice, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and we thank you very much for your support. Let's go with the practice. Tell Sarah I love her. Sam told me to tell you he loved you. Told me to tell you is the right expression. But you see, Sam says, "I love her," and you say, "He loved you," the past tense. Now, if you have any problems with this, look on the top of the screen on the right-hand side. There is another video about reported speech, and I explain all of this in the other video. Let's keep going. Tell Sarah to sign the contract. What do you tell Sarah? Sam told me to tell you to sign the contract. Tell Sarah that I need the car keys. What do you tell Sarah? Sam told me to tell you he needed the car keys. Here's some new stuff. Could you tell Sarah to text me? What do you tell Sarah? Sam told me to tell you to text him. This one is good, but it is not quite right because what did Sam say? Sam said, "Could you?" Now that is a question. So Sam didn't give you an order. So Sam said, "Could you?" So Sam asked you. Sam asked me to tell you to text him. Let's practice. Could you tell Sarah I want my money back? Sam told me to tell you he wanted his money back. But remember, told is not quite right because Sam said, "Could you?" So Sam asked me to tell you he wanted his money back. Here's something new again. Could you ask Sarah where she lives? Now be careful here because we have two questions. Sam asked me to ask you where you lived. Here's the difficult part. The first "could you" we already know. Sam asked me. And then ask Sarah. So when I'm talking to Sarah, I say, he asked me to ask you where you lived. Let's practice. Could you ask Sarah if she has a cat? Sam asked me to ask you if you had a cat. Now, here's a big challenge. Try relaying speech just by listening. Can you do it? Let's try. Tell Sarah to buy 2 tickets. What do you tell Sarah? He told me to tell you to buy 2 tickets. This is what Sam said. So there are no questions here. Tell Sarah, one order. To buy 2 tickets, another order. So he told me to tell you. Ask Sarah if she has a sister. What do you tell Sarah? He told me to ask you if you had a sister. Ask Sarah if she has a sister. Could you tell Sarah not to drink too much? What do you tell Sarah? He asked me to tell you not to drink too much. Tell Sarah not to be late. What do you tell Sarah? He told me to tell you not to be late. Can you ask Sarah how old she is? What do you tell Sarah? He asked me to ask you how old you were. Now here's one last one. Tell your friends to watch my YouTube channel. What did I tell you? You told me to tell my friends to watch English Speaking 360. Great job, guys. We will see you in our next video. Bye-bye.